Hello, everybody. I'm Rob Schlachter, and we would love to welcome you to the initial voyage of our collaboration with WMCT-TV and the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce, bringing you the Chamber Spotlight. And the intent of this series is to really share the vast amount of diverse businesses that we have within the Chamber, just to educate and inform you about what's going on in your backyard and the amount of different industries that make up Chamber businesses. And we're going to kick it off with understanding the entrepreneurial vision, because we have quite a few entrepreneurs within the Chamber, and we selected a few that we think you will find very, very interesting and informative. And I'm very happy to welcome our first guest to the show, Eric Schwartz from InFusion Art Glass. So Eric, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you on board.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here.
And we're very, very excited to talk a little bit and share your story. So just very briefly, tell us about the vision that you had for when you started your business.
Well, let me first of all say I had a full career in industry before I started this. And but all during that time of this career, I was an engineer and engineering manager. All during that time, I kept a hobby or sometimes a side hustle of doing glass, stained glass and fused glass. So I always had a dream to open a gallery, a glass gallery. So at the ripe old age of 64, I was in a position in my life where I could leave industry, and I started a gallery. My gallery was in SoA, which is the arts district in the south end of Boston. Which was terrific to be involved in that area. But one day on my way to the studio, I noticed a bunch of emergency vehicles. Turns out there was a water main break, and my studio got flooded. I got 2 to 3 feet of water in the studio.
Wow.
So I had to leave because the building had to be vacated. It was shuttered for about a year. So I had to leave. I had to find a new space. So finding art space that is both gallery and studio space with retail capability can be difficult. But I ended up finding a great space in the Landing at Hudson Mills on Broad Street in Hudson. And so the vision for my gallery initially was not to make a ton of money. I'm in a position in my life where I don't need to make a ton of money, but I want to, of course, pay the rent, buy new materials, buy good equipment and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to make good art and aspire to make great art. So the basic vision of the studio is to create glass pieces, get them out in the world, and make some more until someday I do my masterpiece.
That's awesome. And I have to say that I believe that the Mill building in Hudson actually really fits your concept. It really is quite an eclectic place. If you haven't been down there, you should visit. So besides the obvious challenges of coming through a pandemic, staffing, what do you feel as an entrepreneur are some of the biggest challenges of running a business?
I think the first one that I'm thinking of is quite fundamental. It's creating a mission statement for your business, because that mission statement drives everything that you do. All your strategy and tactics flow from the mission statement. So again, my mission statement to begin with was not maximize revenue, but maximize good art, and like I said, aspire for great art. So that changes my product mix. It changes the offerings that I'm going to give. It changes when somebody comes into the studio. Do I accept that job or turn it away? Is that something that I can do well, or can I turn it away? If my mission statement had been something to the effect of let's maximize revenue, I might be making jewelry all day. I might be making glass jewelry day after day after day repetitively. It's not what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So I created a mission statement, which was, again, create good art and concentrate on that.
Really a passion and really a focus.
Yeah.
So what advice would you have for people who are thinking about starting their own business?
I've got a couple I was thinking of. One is follow your passion. So for me, getting up and going to work, or not even work, getting up and going to the studio is no problem. I don't dread Mondays, and I don't necessarily celebrate Fridays, because I like going to the studio. I look forward to going every day. So if you follow your passion, you're not going to work another day. But you might think, well, what if my passion won't pay the bills? What if it's so esoteric or, out there that it's not going to pay the rent? Well, then I would say probably you got to keep your day job and work on that. Figure out how to expand it. How can you expand the market, maybe, or how can you expand the what you do? Instead of making a product, maybe you teach other people how to make a product or sell supplies for making that product. So if you follow your passion, maybe you can't quit your job right away and start it, but you can do that. Some other advice I would consider is find your sweet spot. By that I mean find the things that sell and that people gravitate to. And the way to do that is just listen to your customers. When the customers come in the store, it's always an opportunity to say, to talk to them. I mean, if they walk out with not spending a penny, but you maybe learned something from them in terms of, what they could want. Right. For example, I was getting a lot of people saying, "Do you teach?" And in the beginning, I didn't want to teach because it takes away from my artistic endeavors. So I didn't really want to teach. But so many people have asked me to teach. And it seems like coming out of the pandemic, a lot of people really want to learn to do glass, and how to fuse glass. So now I offer classes, and they're going extremely well.
That's fantastic.
And one more thing, Rob, is social media. You got to be savvy in social media these days. Many successful business people have told me, you need to be on social media. You're missing an opportunity. And I admit I'm not good at it. So I'm actually in the process of hiring a consultant to get me through it, because you just have to be good. And so if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, I would say get savvy on Instagram as quickly as you can. Right. Start building a following now.
Right. Well, that's a great story, Eric. And just lastly, as an entrepreneur, how has joining the Chamber assisted you? What made you decide to join the Chamber?
Well, since I moved from Boston to the western suburbs, I had to build all new networks. I had to make connections to the art scene in Hudson, and I had to make connection to the business scene in Hudson. So I joined, first of all, I joined the Hudson Business Association for the very local Hudson people, and then I joined MRCC for the bigger regional scope that it has. So that's just a way to get plugged in. There's a lot of opportunities to go and network. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of fun events, sometimes during work, sometimes after work, and a chance to see other business people. Great.
Well, we're thrilled to have you, and best of luck with your business. And if you have not had the chance, you got to check this shop out. The studio is phenomenal, and you can just feel the sense of creativity. And we wish you the best of luck. And thanks for being our first guest.
Thanks for having me.